it's almost one of the things that I learned as well about our group and where we need to get better at. Because for me, there's 2 away games where we got physically overpowered and we got beat up against 2 teams who played direct football, and we didn't have the capabilities on the pitch to handle that style of football. And Accrington first half was certainly one. And you're looking at the game, and I'd made a change in the first half by bringing Tom on to try and deal with the direct nature of the game. But certainly, and it's the first time I've ever gone down a touchline that early for a half time, but I almost needed to give myself clarity about what I was going to say and why I was going to say it at half time. And listen, I can't repeat what I said on this podcast at all. But I obviously made my point to the players about what we'd collectively done, not just them, but what we'd collectively done. But we still had another half of football to get ourselves out of this situation. And it was more about what we needed to do in the second half rather than what had happened in the first half. And the clock was still ticking, and it was still 3-0 at 78 minutes. But to produce the moments which we did, to enable us to draw the game, with the amount of injury time, etc., to draw that game 3-3. And then we came in on the Monday and we reviewed it. And I said to the players, you will look back at that game in 10, 15, 20 years' time and say, remember that game? There was 12 minutes left and we drew 3-3. We're 3-0 down, and it could have been more than 3, let's be honest. But the scenes at the end of the game were just amazing. Again, it then added something else to us as a group, that resilience, because, again, if that would have happened, you don't want to be 3-0 down, obviously, but we came back from it. We found the resilience to do it. We found the moments. We produced 3 incredible goals, which aren't normal in League Two, let's be honest. But again, it gave the supporters, again, another moment of being a Tranmere Rovers fan. And I say, I'm sure you guys will do the same thing. And I remember that game at Accrington when we were absolutely rubbish in the first half, but we got a point from it. And at the time, we didn't realise how vital that point could have been, was going to be. But say it was another point along the way.
There was a famous Tranmere game you may be aware of in 2001 where they were 3-0 down against Southampton at half-time in the FA Cup, and they won 4-3. And the next day, when they came in for training, John Aldridge made the players do loads and loads of laps of the training ground. And he said, that's for how bad you were in the first half, let alone how good you were in the second half. That game, football's funny, isn't it? But as soon as that injury time board went up, you could almost feel Accrington hearts sink, and everyone in the Tranmere went, it's on here. Like, could you feel that in the dugout?
Yeah, we're getting beat 3-0 at half time, and they had a couple of other opportunities to make it more than 3-0. But never at any stage did I think that we were out of the game. And listen, they did what they did in the second half, so the game was extended over obviously a long period of time. But I always knew that we had moments within us. The players we've got at the top end of the pitch, they're all capable of pulling out moments like that. So it was about just keep going, keep running, keep fighting, or start running and start fighting. That would help. And again, then just look at the moments within the game and try and take advantage. And I think they conceded something like 10 goals in the previous 2 games. So I think they got beat 5-0 at Bromley the previous week and had been beat 4-1 at home again the previous game. So they were in a mental cycle of conceding goals as well. So as soon as it went 3-1, 3-2, you could almost see within them that they were shrinking, and we just grew, didn't we? And we've actually been talking about this morning that I've never seen a goalkeeper spend as much time in the opposition's goal mouth as Luke McGee did in that game. We actually counted it back, and I think he's in their penalty area for 98 seconds, which must be a world record. Whether he didn't want to run back or couldn't, I'm not sure. But listen, it was amazing at the end to get the point and say keep adding to layers of what we could believe in.